We are going to see about induction. Mathematical induction is a proof of technique, not unlike direct proof or proof by contradiction or combination proof. In other words, induction is style of argument we use to convince ourselves and others that a mathematical statement is always true. Many a mathematical statements can be proved by simply explaining with a mean. Others are very difficult to prove. In fact, they are relatively simple mathematical statements which nobody yet knows how to prove. To facilitate the discovery of proofs, it is important to familiar with some styles of arguments. Induction is one such style. Let's start with an example. Stamps. Investigate. You need to mail a package but do not yet know how much postage you will need. You have a large supply of 8 stamps and 5 stamps. Which amount of postage can you make exactly using these stamps? Which amounts are impossible to make? Perhaps in investigating the problem above, you picked some amount of postage and then figured out whether you could make the amount using just 8 and 5 stamps. Perhaps you did this in order. Can you make 1 cent of package postage? Can you make 2 cents, 3 cents, and so on? If this is what you did, you were actually answering a sequence of questions. We have methods for dealing with the sequences. Let's see if that helps. Actually, Actually, we will not make a sequence of questions but rather sequence of statements. Let Pn be a statement. You can make sense of postage using just 8 cent and 5 cent stamps. Since for each value pn is a statement, it is either true or false. So if we form the sequence of statements p1, p2, p3, p4 and p etc., the sequence will consist of ITT for true, FF for false. In our particular case of sequence, false, 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 true, false, true, false, true, false. Because B1, B2, B3, B4, B1, B2, B3, B4 all the false, you cannot make 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 cents of postage. But B5 is true, use 1 5 stems and so on. Let's think a bit about how we could find the value of Pn and Pn for the specific Nn. The value will be either true or false. How did we find the value of an nth term of sequence of numbers? How did we find a and they are they they are be two waves. We could do this either there was closed formula of ANN, so we could look in NN into formula and get output value, or we had a recursive definition for sequence, so we could use previous terms of sequence to compute the nth term. When delaying the sequence of statements, we could use either of these techniques as well. Maybe there is a way to use nth itself to determine whether we can make n cents of postage. That would be something like closed formula, or instead we could use the previous steps in the sequence to determine whether we can make n cents of postage. This is if we know the value of Pn minus 1 and Pn minus 1. Can we get from the to the value Pn? That would be something like a recursive definition for the sequence. Remember, finding recursive definition for sequence was often easier than finding closest formulas. The same it's true here. Suppose I told you that P43 was true. it is, can you determine from this fact value of P44 whether it is true or false? Yes, you can, even if we do not know how exactly. We made 43 cents out of the 5 cents and 8 cents. We do know that R was some way to do it. What if they were used at least 3 5 cents making 15 cents? We could replace this their 5 cent stamps with the 2 cent stamp, 8 cent stamps making 60 cents stamp. The total postage has gone up by 1. So we have a way to make 44 cents. 44 is true. Of course, we assumed that we cared at least 3 5 cents. What if we didn't? We must have at least 8 cent stamps. If we replace the 3 8 stamp stamps, 5 cent stamps, then again have pumped up our total by is 1 cent. So we can make 44 cents is true. Notice that we have not said how to make 44 cents. Just we can on basis that we can make 43 cents. How do we know we can make 43 cents? Perhaps because we know we can make 42 cents, which we know we can do because we know we can make 44 cents, and so on. It is a recursion. As a recursive definition of a numerical sequence, we must specify our initial value. In case the initial value is p1, p1 is false. That is not good, since our recurrence relations just say that pk plus 1 is true, pk also true. We need to start process which a true pk. So instead we might want to use p33 is true is a initial condition. Putting this all together, we arrive the following fact: it is possible to make any amount of postage greater than 27 using just 5 cents and 8 cents. In other words, pk is true any k greater than or equal to 828. To prove, we could do the following: demonstrate that p28 is true, provide that pk plus 1 is used, k greater than or equal to 28. Suppose we have done this, then we know that 28 term of sequence above tt using step 1, the initial condition of base case, and that every term after 28 is tt also. Hence is what the proof would actually look like. Let p and be the statement is possible to make exactly n instance of postage using 5 cents and 8 cents. We will show Pn is true all n greater than or equal to 28. First, we show that P28 is true. 28 equal 4.5 plus 1.8 2.28 equal to 4.5 plus 1.8. We can make 28 cents using 4 5 cent stamps, 1 8 stamps. Now suppose BK is true. Some arbitrary k greater than or equal to 20, then it is possible make kk cents using 5 cents and 8 cents. Notice this: since k greater than or equal to 28, it cannot be that we can use less than 3 5 cent stamps and less than 3 8 cent stamps. Using 2 each, we could give only 26 cents. Now if we have made kk cents using at least 3 5 cent stamps, replace their 5 stamp by 2 8 stamps. This replaces 15 stamps of postage with 16 cents. Moving from your total kk cents, kk plus 1 cents. Thus pk plus 1 is true. On the other hand, if you have made kk cents using at least 3 8 stamps, then we can replace 3 8 stamps with 5 stamps, moving from 24 stamp to 25 cents, giving a total k plus 1 cents postage. So In this case as well, pk plus 1 is true. Therefore, by this principle of mathematical induction, Pn is true all n greater than or equal to 28. Formalizing proofs. When what we need in this time example above works for many types of problem. Proof by induction is useful when trying to prove statement about all natural numbers or all natural numbers greater than some fixed first cake, like 28 is an example above, and some other situation too. In particular, induction should be used when there is some way to go from one case to next, when you can see how to always do one more. This is a big idea. Thinking about problem individually can give new insight into the problem. For example, to really understand two stamp problem, you should think about how any amount of postage greater than 28 cents can you made. This is a not indicative reasoning, and also how the ways in which postage can be made changes the amount of increase. When you are asking to provide a proof of induction, you are being asked to think about the problem dynamically. How does increasing n change the problem? But there is another side of to proof by induction as well. In mathematics, is not enough to understand a problem. You must also able communicate the problem to other. Like any discipline, mathematics has standard language and style, allowing mathematics to share their ideas efficiently. Proofs by induction have a certain formal style, and being able to write in the style important. It allows us to keep our ideas organized and might even help us formulating a proof. Here the general structure of proof by mathematical induction. Induction proofs structure. Start by saying what the statement is that you want to prove. Let P and B statement. To prove that Pn is true, n greater than or equal to 0, you must prove two facts. Base case, prove that P0 is true. You do this directly. This is often easy. Inductive case, prove that pk plus 1 pk, k greater than or equal to 0, that is, prove that any k greater than or equal to 0 if pk is true. Pk plus 1 is always true. Why pk plus 1 is also true given the assumption. Assuming you are the successful on both parts of above, you can conclude therefore, by the principle of mathematical induction, the statement Pn is true for all n greater than or equal to 0. Sometimes the statement Pn will only be true for values of n greater than 4, for example, or some other value. In such cases, replace all the zeroth above fourth or the other value. The other advantage for formalizing into inductive proofs, it is allows to use verify that logic behind this style of argument is valid. Why does induction work? Think of row domains set up standing on their edges. We want to argument that is a minute. All the domains will have filtered down. For this so to happen, you will need to push the first domain, that is the base case. If will also have to be that domains are close enough together that when any particular domain fails, it will case the next domain to fail. That is in inductive case. If both these conditions are met, you push the first domain over the each domain will case that next fail, then all the domains with fail. Induction is powerful thing. How much easier to knock over domains when you do not have push over domains yourself. You just start chain reaction. And their thing about a study of sequence, it is easier to find recursive definition for sequence than closed formula. Going from one case to next easier than going directly to particular case. That is what's so great about induction. Instead of going to directly case for NN, we just need to say how to get directly to particular case. The what is to greater about induction. Instead of going to directly to the case of N, we just need to say how to get from one case to next. When you are asked to prove a statement by mathematical induction, you should first think about why statement is true using inductive reasoning. Explain why induction is right to think to do and roughly why the inductive case will work. Then sit down and write out carefully formula proving using structure above. Thank you.